Hey, welcome back to Shutter Magazine. This month's article is about speaking, and a lot of you want to get on the speaking tour. You want to be able to present at workshops, at various conventions, and one of the things I didn't talk a lot about this month is the importance of rehearsing and really knowing your stuff. Now, I'm set up in my home office right now. I've got a Panasonic Lumix FC1000 on a tripod. I've got the wireless application running against my phone, which is in my pocket. And right here, I have a screen in my office. I've had this screen for years, and I want you to be impressed with the multi-purpose Panasonic Lumix lanyard that also doubles as a pull for this screen. The importance of rehearsing is that you've got to get comfortable with your timing. You've got to think through, what do you want to say? How do you want to say it? For me personally, I hate standing at a podium. I hate rehearsing in front of a laptop or even a monitor. So I love it when I can actually set it up in my office. I've got my projector on the other side of the room. It projects right here. And I can put myself through the paces and walk through a presentation the same way I would probably be doing it live at a workshop or a conference. Now, one of the things about rehearsing, don't rehearse too much. If you get to a point where you really know every single thing you're going to say before you even said it, you start to sound like a magazine article reading itself. In addition, pay attention to your slides. Know roughly when you're going to be halfway through your time on your presentation, when you're complete. I also like to leave about 10 minutes at the end, knowing that I'm going to run over anyway. I like to leave a little bit of room at the end so that I can answer any questions. And that's really important when you're a presenter. You want to be accessible to your audience. Another thing to remember is keep your introduction short. I used to kid Big Daddy Blair, Don Blair, years ago when we did a presentation together and we worked on a program together. He would get up there in front of everybody and he'd start thanking everybody from his first grade teacher all the way to all of us at Hasselblad at the time. You want to keep it short. You want to be concise enough that you're giving people information that tells them a little bit more about who you are. Remember, just the fact that you're up on the podium there, up on the stage, that already gives you a certain amount of credibility. So you don't need to go nuts with your background, but you just want to give them a little bit of relevance. Now, one other thing that's really important that so many speakers forget, at least initially, remember who your sponsors are. If you're being sponsored, most of you, when you first start out, you may not have any sponsors at all. After a certain point, you're going to start to have 1, 2, or maybe 3 sponsors for each presentation. You want to be able to work them into the presentation nicely without people feeling like they're watching an infomercial, or worse, watching a NASCAR go by with 20 different sponsors at 180 miles an hour. So remember to thank your sponsors. Most important of all, when you make a commitment to get on the speaking tour, think about the fact that you have an incredible responsibility. You can't just make a commitment, say you're going to speak 6, 8 months from now, and then something comes along. Or you got a head cold, or you got a migraine, or you just don't feel good, or there's something else you'd rather do. Once you make that commitment, you have got to stay with it. It's just like writing a book with a publisher. Once you've signed the contract, that means that they're expecting a good program from you or a good book from you. In this case, you make an agreement to work at a conference or a convention. You've got to make sure that you know your stuff, you're going to be on time, you don't want to run over just because it shows a lack of courtesy to the next speakers. And then remember to thank your sponsors. Work them in, not just thanking them, but work their products, work their services into your presentation. And that's it this month, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of you on the speaking circuit at who knows what the next convention might be.